I'm Rachel,
And I'm Jen.
and we are The Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
We're discussing all kinds of print media from a galaxy far, far away, reviewing canon comics and books, and talking to authors, artists, and other Star Wars nerds.
So strap yourselves in as we make the jump to light speed. Punch it, Jen.
Oh my gosh.
And drum roll, here we are.
Woo!
We are doing a really cool book today. I am so excited to talk about this.
We've been talking about it for a long time because they announced it a while back. I don't even remember when they announced it. It feels
Was
like it's been like a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we've thought about it ever since.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about legacy. We already knew this book was going to be solid. There was no world in which I think either of us was not going to enjoy this book.
Exactly. And I went into it having no expectations other than it's set between, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker. So At some point during that time, we get a really cool Rey and Leia story. And what that is, like, I was just here to go for the ride. And wow, we've only read half the book. Yeah. And already it's been fantastic. Good. It's been so good.
And everyone's reactions to it, for the most part, have been so great. It's a conglomeration of different types of Star Wars fans that are reading and enjoying this book. And it's so fun to see it all come together and to watch the timeline on Instagram and everyone's blowing up about it. And it makes me so happy.
I know. I actually haven't read too many comments on how they feel about it.
That's for the
because
best.
I've been terrified about spoilers, especially because I'm part of the Hunt for Ben Solo Discord, and they've been talking about this book nonstop.
They probably spoiled it within 30 seconds, which is fine.
I think they spoiled it even before the book even was released.
Stop. Oh my God.
So I was just like, okay, well, I guess I'm not going to join the general chat for eons. A month. Okay, so not eons, but still.
But feels like eons. Yeah.
It does.
Yeah. And I've seen all the spoilers at this point, I'm gonna be honest.
Have you really?
Oh yeah, which is fine because that's just the nature of the internet. So it is what it is.
That's too bad. I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. To be honest, it just made me more excited to read it.
Oh, I love that for you. Meanwhile, I'm over here going like, no,
avoiding
spoilers.
Instagram for a month. And I mean, I want to ask you about SDCC. You met the author.
I did. Yes. I met Madeleine Roux. She is amazing. And I watched her panel and she had wonderful things to say, especially about Leia and Rey's relationship and how she really wanted to give space for that relationship since we really didn't get a chance to have that relationship on screen, and how she just really wanted more time for all of us to have with Leia. And I was just like, wow, like this is beautiful. And yeah, it was a great experience, and I got to do a signing afterwards, and she's an incredible person. So
and you got me and yourself, I'm assuming, the really cool cover. Like, oh wait, it's right here, guys. Hold on.
Yeah, this exclusive cover is by 02PNG, and there's not much known about this artist, except for they're from Hong Kong. I can't really tell.
It's so beautiful.
It's so gorgeous.
It's very minimalist simple, not like, negative simple.
Yeah.
And I love that because, I mean, the original cover is this beautiful, highly detailed, portrait of Rey and Leia, and it's also gorgeous. So this was just such a different version of the cover, and I liked that.
I did too. It's really my favorite style of this. So that oftentimes the pieces of artwork that I hang up on my walls is I like the landscape with just a little touch of whatever fandom. I have both Star Wars and Lord of the Rings in that style.
You might not immediately be like Star Wars until you look at it.
Meanwhile, I've got all of these behind me that are not that at all.
I know. Everyone, she's not lying. I've seen it. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Well, yay. I'm glad you had a good time at San Diego Comic-Con. There's a lot of really exciting book things happening in Star Wars.
There are.
I'm pumped, and it's fun to see that, like, there seems to be a lot more investment in filling in the gaps between the originals and the sequels, and within the sequels themselves, which is great. And I just am so excited by that. So
that, and it seems like overall people are really excited about this too. The whole panel was packed with people, and it was not just Madeleine Roux, it was also
Ashley. Was Ashley there? Poston, yes. Yeah.
Ashley Poston was there talking about Eyes Like Stars. Yes. And so the entire panel room was completely full with people, which is amazing to see.
Yeah. And it seemed like there were so many women authors that were either there and talking about their work or were announced as upcoming authors for books.
Yeah.
And it just, it just makes me excited. That so many women are being allowed to tell some of these stories. And I think it was really obvious to me reading Legacy, and I don't mean this in a negative way because there's a lot of really amazing male authors in Star Wars. This story, I don't think would have hit as hard if it had been written by a man. You're telling the story of two women, and it's a very introspective, inward-looking story about women. And I just don't know if somebody who hadn't had those exact experiences in life could tell that story. And so I'm excited for these future Star Wars stories being told by women as well, because I just know they're going to hit really strongly for us.
Yes, I completely agree.
So, unless there's anything else you want to talk about, do you want to just get into Legacy?
I absolutely do.
This is set after the events of The Last Jedi. A small group of rebels on Hayes Minor have attempted to assassinate a First Order major, with some of them escaping the First Order. And meanwhile, Leia is struggling to rebuild the Resistance after everything that happened on Crate, and they've settled on Pakara, and Rey is trying to repair the Skywalker lightsaber, so that's where we're at when this book begins.
Yes, Pakara. Oh my God. I was so excited when I read the first chapter and it was like, we're on Pakara. And I was like, oh, the Pakara? The secret base that Rey tells you on Rise of Resistance to not tell anyone? Like, can't believe it.
So good. I know, it's like it sucked you in immediately.
It did.
And I love chapter 1 is Rey basically admitting that she's been avoiding her problems. And I'm like, that's what I do. I love this. She's been avoiding the fact that she has a broken kyber crystal for the Skywalker saber for a while. Right? And she's running out of things to distract her from that.
That, and also she doesn't want to talk about her problems with anyone, and especially not Leia. And so she's trying to fix the kyber crystal on her own. She's so sure both in her own abilities, but also the fact that she's got all these sacred Jedi texts to read through, that she will eventually find the answers, and she's just got to do it. It's fine.
Oh, Rey. I've always viewed Rey as like the person I want to be like, and Kylo or Ben more as the person that I am. And reading this, I was like, oh, maybe not. Maybe I am way more similar to current Rey than I thought I was. She is struggling with all these internal doubts and feelings of being unsure of herself. Yep. How are you going to tell that in film, right? You don't hear an internal dialogue in film. You don't really know what a character thinks about themselves unless they say it out loud, right?
Or interpretation of a character's or an actor's expression of that character. Yeah. And I was glad to see that it was this inner struggle, because to me, if I were in her shoes, I would be struggling with these issues too. What she's going through is completely relatable to a lot of people.
Yes, her life is kind of a hot mess right now.
It's such a hot mess.
There's so much going on. And I think she feels the weight of the Jedi Order on her at this moment with nobody to help.
I can't even imagine that too. She's all alone. At least Luke had Kenobi running around following him and being like, use the Force, Luke, and
and Force ghosts are showing up for him, and Rey feels like she is completely alone besides these ancient texts that are half not garbage, but like just musings.
Half riddles.
Thank you. That was way nicer than garbage. I freaking hate riddles, so I felt her frustration with this. I like that Leia actually encouraged her to kind of let go of the crystal and don't let a rock get to you. This is something that you could just move past and let go of. But Rey likes to fix broken things. She doesn't like tossing things out or just putting things to the side if she thinks it can be fixed. And she's convinced she can fix it. She just doesn't know how yet.
Well, that, and then the fact that she needs the kyber crystal in order to power a lightsaber. And the lightsaber is really the image of the Jedi. What is a Jedi without their lightsaber? I mean, we have the Salandra show's shield in the High Republic, but that's one instance of a Jedi that didn't wield a lightsaber out of the many. So to her, all of this weight on being the best Jedi relies on her fixing this kyber crystal. If she can fix the kyber crystal, then she can be a Jedi, and then it'll be fine.
Yeah, I think people need to remember she has no reference for the Jedi besides legends that she's heard over her life, her time with Luke Skywalker, and these ancient texts. And that is it. And so, of course, if she knows, Jedi carry lightsabers, she's not going to feel like she can be a Jedi if she can't have a lightsaber. So, of course, this is now her main motivation. And I liked that she goes inward at some point to meditate with this crystal, right? And we get to see the truth of how Rey feels the Force, which I really liked because
I loved it.
It was not calm at all.
No.
And from the outside, she does appear calm in the movies, but I think that has less to do with her actually being calm, obviously, and more that it can be hard for people who are more I consider her to be more introverted and keep to themselves or live in their own mind. She lives in her own mind a lot because she lived by herself for most of her life.
Yes.
And so from the outside, people can appear to be one thing, but until you get inside their head, you don't actually know. And we get to see that she views the Force, right, as turbulent and never still.
Waters.
Yes.
To me, I read this and I was like, oh my God, she's just like Elzar Mann.
Yes. Oh,
you saw that too?
I thought of Elzar too, and I was like, oh, which I love.
I love that so much. And then especially now reading through this book and seeing the similarities, they both struggle so much with the dark side, and you just go,
they do. She felt like when she was starting to meditate that what most Jedi are trying to accomplish, right, is balance, perfect, peaceful balance. And instead, she doesn't get that. She doesn't relate to that. She doesn't really understand it. So instead, she seeks out the tension between two magnets, basically. And that's what exists for her between light and dark, is this constant pushing tension. And she likes that and relates to that more than she relates to calm and peace. And I thought that was really interesting for her character.
Yeah.
Because she's somebody that we know, and but she doesn't know at this point that she has this history of a family lineage of dark side. And she's trying to be the light. And no wonder she's feeling that tension between these two things. I thought that was really cool.
I love that. Yeah. That's great.
There it is. Where do her thoughts naturally lead as she's thinking about these things? She's thinking about tension.
Tension. It could possibly be Kylo Ren.
was like, I see you, girl.
Oh my God, I know. And especially because she's trying to like heal this kyber crystal and she's transferring parts of her, and she's trying to do the calm, peaceful parts of her into this kyber crystal. And immediately she's like, I'm broken. And she visions Kylo Ren and it's like, ah.
Well, also, just thinking about her connection to Kylo Ren sends power flowing out of her, which is crazy.
It really is.
I need more things about dyads because I think dyads are insane. Lore-wise, I think they're really cool. And there's just such an untapped well of knowledge about how much power could be formed within a dyad. And I liked that we got to see just the tiniest sprinkle of it here.
Well, me too, especially because we know that they're a dyad. Rey is trying to connect to the Force, which is then in turn connected to Kylo, but she's trying to not be connected to Kylo, but she's innately connected to him. How do you connect to the Force when you're in this dyad situation, but you're trying to cut off part of yourself? So no wonder why she's struggling so much. She's struggling to keep this giant wall in between him and her so that he can't find her. She can't think about him.
And I one thing I really like about Rey in The Rise of Skywalker, we saw a pinch of it in the other movies, but in The Rise of Skywalker in particular, we see her so angry for a lot of the movie. And we see it here too. She feels him kind of closing in on her presence. She can feel him being like, oh, you're thinking about me? Let's find each other. Yeah, exactly. And he's like, heck yeah. And she gets so mad at him, at herself. And she even thinks about how she should have killed him.
Oh, I felt so sad about that.
I did too, because she obviously wakes up before him in The Last Jedi and takes an escape craft, and that's when she exits that little side quest. She had the perfect opportunity. She could have lopped his head off, and I mean, yep. And seeing her in this moment being like, I should have just done that. I feel bad for her and I feel for her, but the Star Wars lore side of me is like, hey, there it is, the Palpatine.
I think it also helps to explain what happens in The Rise of Skywalker. Why? I mean, she's obviously mad at Kylo in Force Awakens, at least at the end of Force Awakens, because he kills Han Solo, and she's so mad at him for that. And then, like,
valid, yeah,
valid, yes. And through the events of The Last Jedi, she kind of like overcomes that. And so it's interesting to see her loop back around. And to me, it's almost like the shame that she has in having a connection to Kylo and it ending the way it did. And to me, this is like a really bad breakup, you know, where you're just like, they're the worst. I'm just so embarrassed. I was with this terrible guy and
I can't even talk to Leia because that's his mom.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, where do you even begin?
It's so bad. And it's like you said, she just feels a lot of shame that she failed because she either failed to turn him, which was her original goal, or I think she feels like a failure for even trying at this point.
Yes.
Which makes me bummed out. I'm like, no, keep going. You were so
close.
I know. But something kind of crazy happens, right? While she's up here doing her little meditation. What happens?
Well, she's connected to the dark side now because she's pissed off, and this surge of power connects to the storm that's a brewing off in the distance, and suddenly the storm is right up on top of her, and this massive lightning strikes not just the area around her, but specifically the kyber crystal she's trying to heal. This doesn't go well for the poor kyber crystal, who basically shatters even more.
The crystal is legit like, let me die.
I know.
Please.
It's like, oh
no. Yeah. And I always want more lightning, force lightning in particular. I know this is it's not coming out of her,
didn't even catch
but
that.
It kind of is.
It is.
It is. It's like
that
her emotions
right
are stirring it up. Yeah. And I was like, lightning.
Palpatine.
I swear I'm not cheering for Rey to be bad. I'm just saying It's cool, okay?
It's fun. It's fun to have a cool, bad character.
It is, especially a woman. Let women be evil. Yeah, what happens to the crystal? Because it's not good, right?
Oh, yeah. The poor crystal shatters further. But it's still alive. There's a glimmer of a hope within the crystal, so it's not all is lost.
I know, but she made it worse somehow.
Yeah.
So she's not feeling super hot in this moment.
No. And the words that Luke told her about her turning or running straight to the dark side keep tumbling in her head over and over. And that has really stuck with her. And she's so ashamed of who she is because of that.
Yes. It's a mess. And it's a perfect time for Leia to call on the radio and be like, where you at, girl? What'd you do?
Leia is so intuitive and I love it.
I do too. And I think the reason I cried in chapter 1, I'll admit, was because obviously I knew Leia was going to be in the book. It wasn't like it was a surprise.
Yeah.
We've obviously lost Carrie Fisher and for years, and it, I thought I was fine with that at this point, and then read this and was like, she's still alive here, in this book. And that makes me so happy that people can live on like this. And so I was a hot mess already. I don't care.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I get it.
And I mean, the anguish that Rey feels too over her failures is so relatable, I think, to most grown adults who have experienced lots of failure and lots of feeling shame. My heart hurts for her, but I was also grateful because I've heard a lot of people say that Rey doesn't go through any struggles as part of their criticisms of the sequels or whatever. And I'm like, what movies did you watch?
Yes.
But for people who did not read between the lines or just what's on screen, because it's pretty obvious to me.
Yes.
I liked that they spelled it out here. And they were just reiterating in chapter 1 that Rey is having a bad time. Thank you. Because
and they spelled it out that Luke's words really struck a nerve and she's carried it with her way past his death and how that's going to look like in the future.
Yeah. Chapter 2, where are we going? What are we doing?
We're over with Leia Organa. Oh my god. We get a lovely POV with her and R2-D2. Apparently, she has a really cool memoir she's working on, and she's recording a new one. And this one is about her time with Luke on Ajan Kloss. Like, what?
My heart.
I know.
Even though this is obviously super fun and special and lighthearted, she is also, we find out, not doing too well emotionally. She's feeling very kind of disoriented almost at the stage of life she's in because she's like, when did I get old? Where's my husband? What happened to my son? All these feelings of what has my life become? This is not what I imagined. Which is very sad and hard to deal with.
It is. And it's definitely such a thing a lot of women as we age think about, just kind of like, oh, I'm not as young as I once was, which means I'm not as valuable as I once was too. And I love that Leia is having these doubts, but we all love her at whatever age. She's amazing all the time.
Yeah, of course. But it's just it's very relatable, I think, for a lot of women to hear this character that's always come across so confident and so steadfast in everything that she's doing. To have all of these emotions about herself is not out of character at all.
It's not.
But it is refreshing to see from this character. And I love Rey just burst into the room because she's kind of a chaos gremlin, and I love her for that. But Leia knows there's something that she's hiding from her, essentially, or not sharing with her.
Well, yes. I mean, Leia picks up instantly that there's something wrong with Rey, and she asks about it, and Rey lies to her, and Leia completely is intuitive and knows right away, and it's about her kyber crystal. So Leia asks Rey, how did it go? And Rey dismisses it and says everything's fine. Which is unfortunate.
It is. It's Leia wants so badly to have this connection with Rey, but beyond whatever it is that just happened, she feels a divide between them that she doesn't understand, and we know what it is. But how is she supposed to know that, right? And it's making Leia feel inadequate because she thinks it's a Jedi or Force-related problem. And it's kind of shining a light on the fact that she never fully finished her training. So she feels like she can't make up for that deficit for Rey. And that's hard.
Yeah. And I love this moment where Leia thinks about how she tries to be everything for everyone. And that was another one. I was like, oh my God, so many women do this too. They're the mom, and then they have to be the perfect employee and worker and all these different people for everyone. And to hear Leia say she wants to become the Jedi Master that Rey needs, but knows that she can't, but will do everything she can to help Rey along. And that just makes me love Leia so much more.
Oh, same. But Rey is not really receptive to this.
No, she's not.
Rey is very much, I will do it myself. And from Leia's side, she's like, oh, is it something that's inadequate with me? But we know that's not the truth, and that's not what Rey's trying to communicate. But obviously, that's causing more friction between these characters that Leia does not want to exist. And she even tries to reach out and touch Rey at some point, and she recoils from it. And it made my heart just like, ugh.
I know. Especially because in The Rise of Skywalker, we see the complete polar opposite of that. How do we go from here to there? And
I swear I see that hug sometimes before I go to sleep at night. I'm just like,
I know.
But I mean, what you were saying about her being everything to everyone, that's kind of the crux of her bad feelings, right? Is that she was all these things, but now what of those things have worked out?
Ugh.
Honestly, like, right? The New Republic is no longer. That got blown up. And she put so much of her life into doing that. And her son said, nah, brah, and went over to the other side.
Being the perfect mother.
Bye.
Did not work out, yes.
Her marriage was rocky.
As we just saw.
As we just talked about in our Han Solo episode. So it's like, what does she have left? And I think she views it as Rey is what she has left to try and make herself feel like she's valuable, like you said. Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier, Rey does not want any part of this. Before Rey leaves, she tells her, you won't be alone, but it will be lonely. And I really loved this.
Yeah.
Why do you think she said these words to Rey at this moment?
I think Leia knows what it means to be an important person, and that naturally isolates you. And right now, Rey is an important person to the whole galaxy and to the Resistance in particular. And she knows what that means for her if she keeps kind of going down that path, right? And she's trying to be comforting by being like, see, I know exactly what you're going through.
Yeah, I really liked it. Just this idea that there are people around Rey there to support her. But despite that, the feeling of loneliness will still remain simply because she is the last Jedi here.
After Rey leaves, I love what Leia does.
I know.
I mean, Leia, I know it can seem kind of shady.
No,
but
it's
that's
fantastic.
Not how she means it. Like,
I don't think it's shady. I think she's investigating. She goes,
yes,
Rey lied to me. So I'm going to go figure out what happened with that weird lightning in the same spot that Rey was hanging out because she's not going to tell me the truth. And Leia really needed to see this. And so far in the chapters that we have read, this doesn't come up again. And I really can't wait for the moment when this comes up later on. And I want them to talk about it.
Same. They gotta. Because what does she find out?
Yeah, she finds the spot where the lightning hit. And she can basically see the effects of the lightning, but not actually see where the lightning struck. So she realizes that the lightning must have struck something or someone. And that she reaches out to the Force and she connects to the Force, is able to see a searchlight and feel the presence of Ben Solo, and that He's searching. And then she eventually sees the moment when the lightning struck the kyber crystal, and then the rage and the pain that comes from Rey after that moment.
Yep.
Wow.
Oh my God. I got secondhand embarrassment because it felt like Luke walking into the hut all over again. And she's like, was that my son?
That is so funny. I didn't take it like that. I took it more as, I don't know, Leia kind of seeing this weird side of Rey that she's never seen before.
That too, yeah.
And the anger, and maybe almost seeing the similarities between Rey and Ben. Maybe? I don't know.
100%. I think that's super accurate, where she was like, oh, whoops. Maybe I do know exactly what Rey's going through. How excited were you about who comes to look for Leia?
Oh my God, I was so excited. Anytime I read or hear about Rose Tico, I was just elated. And she was looking for Leia because she saw her on her scanners and was really worried about her being out in the storm and wanted to check in on her.
And also, a meeting started like 10 minutes ago that she was supposed to be at. And I was like, I love Leia for this. She's just at the point in her life where she's like, I don't care.
I have 30 meetings a day.
Rose is also a very intuitive person. I feel like she's very good at picking up on what people are putting down. And so she kind of tries to ask Leia about what was going on out here. And Leia, thankfully, is very good at communicating with her facial expressions, probably. And
she tells her many times,
like, drop it.
Rose, stop.
Yes. She has no problem being like, you got to let this one go. And Rose does drop it, but I can feel her curiosity burning.
I can too. Yeah. She's like, give me the tea.
What did you think about the very end of this chapter? Leia feels someone watching.
I know. I don't know.
She said it felt like an omen of death. And then I was like, is she sensing Palpatine?
Oh.
What did you think?
I thought it was Kylo.
Alexa, play My Chemical Romance.
Sorry. I guess Palpatine makes sense. He's kind of dead.
I mean,
not
it would
really.
Also make sense for it to be Kylo Ren, obviously.
I just read Dark Presence and Familiar, and I was just like, oh.
So yeah, Palpatine or Kylo Ren. Those are our options.
We're doing so great.
3. Okay, so Rey has built up basically a little mini library on the Falcon of all these ancient Jedi texts. And I love it. And apparently her friends find her there on the regular.
Well, yeah, she's in her emo phase, and so she sequestered herself to her room, aka the Falcon, and all she's focused now is reading the text because there has to be an answer about how to fix the kyber crystal, and that's all she's focused on. And I love that C-3PO is there helping to scan and interpret the language in some of these texts.
For Rey, though, she's used to machines and parts, and those are very straightforward.
They are.
The Jedi and the Force are about a lot of feelings. And I think Rey is not
all of them.
Not all of them.
I was thinking about Ram Jamaram. I feel like Rey and Ram Jamaram would have been best friends.
You know that he put some solid schematics in the Jedi text, I hope.
Oh.
All the good stuff that Rey likes about the text probably came from Ram.
Diagrams.
Yes, exactly. The rest of it is a lot of feelings. And I think Rey is maybe not as equipped to deal with feelings, because when has she had any opportunity to learn how to deal with feelings?
Yeah. Not talking to Unkar Plutt, that's for sure.
Right? I have sincere doubts that Unkar Plutt is trained in any version of emotional intelligence. Thank goodness C-3PO is here, because it's a lot for Rey to deal with. It's a lot for her to go through. And he is able to help her find a cipher in the text.
What? That's cool.
Written by someone who wanted to share the location of 2 abandoned temples. Love that.
Me too. I don't know how to pronounce it. Chesapeake? Chespia? It looks pretty on text. Reading it out loud I don't recommend. But the other one is Tython, which apparently is a really big Knights of the Old Republic lore planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Because I guess the writer of this text, right, is referencing these two places as being, one of them is a forge, is the word that they're calling it. The other one is a font. But the thing I got excited about, though, is that this writer of this whole little whatever about Chespia and Tython were advised not to put their location in text by somebody we are very familiar with.
I actually didn't write that down. Who is it?
Master Wreath Silas.
Shut up! Did it really say that?
Yes!
How did I miss that?
I don't know. I wanted to text you and be like, oh my God.
I have to look this up.
The way I lost my mind.
I just went straight over that.
Master Wreath Silas was like, boy, if you don't stop giving people coordinates to places that the Force would like to will people to find, that would be great. And the writer was like, no, I'm going to do it anyway.
I'm just going to hide it in a cipher within the sacred text. It's totally fine.
I love that so much. Very quick reference. But okay, so Forge, Font, Chespia, Tython. And Rey is like, heck yeah, we're going to Tython because that's theoretically the forge. Like, that must have what I need, right?
Yes, it's a lightsaber forge, so that's where we're going to go. And apparently the coordinates are very easy to retrieve with the proper cipher. C-3PO is pretty useless most of the time. And I love so much that here he is. He's so helpful. And he's such a major character in this story.
And the Rise of Skywalker, I think, I feel like is the most important C-3PO has ever been. And so I like that this was such, not starting point for that, but kind of, where it was like, we can see how deeply entrenched C-3PO has been with Rey and her journey through the ancient text. And I like that continues into Rise of Skywalker.
Me too. It's so good.
Yeah. Oh, Rey is like, thank goodness, I need to be alone with my thoughts. Chewie could be there. And she is so sure that she's just gonna go tell everyone. Peacing out.
Bye. I'll be gone in just a couple days. You won't even miss me or the Falcon or Chewie. And I'll be back with a fixed lightsaber. It's totally fine.
Is that how that goes?
No, well, Leia's like, I'm coming with you.
I love she has to interrupt a meeting about First Order happenings. And as soon as she walked into a meeting, I was like, everyone's going to want to go on this.
Yeah, right? We're getting Finn and Poe and Rose.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we get the snippet that there's something that's happening on Hayes Minor. So it's kind of this setup for a story that goes on within this story.
I liked that Rose is from Hayes Minor and is super familiar with the politics going there. And that there were a lot of hard feelings for those who left Hayes Minor to go join the Resistance, which I thought was really interesting.
And Leia's like, I don't want to be at this meeting. She's literally like, you guys got this? Great. Rey, I'm going to come with you. And you can just feel Rey clench up in this moment where she's like, that is the exact opposite of what I want. I want space from you.
Yes, I know.
Has anyone in the entire galaxy ever been able to convince Leia to do anything?
Never. No.
Never,
Leia
ever,
is so determined and stubborn.
She is decisive.
Yes,
she has decided she is going on this little trip with Rey. And Rey starts spiraling because she's like, what if I get the general killed?
Oh, I know.
Which is fair.
Yes.
And
that's her excuse, right?
Yes. That's the initial excuse. And then she's like, well, what if I fail to repair the crystal? But now Leia's watching. What if Kylo Ren just freaking appears in front of his mom and then I have to sit there awkwardly? There's so many things. It makes it so complicated for Rey emotionally. You should have just left. She's going to have to figure it out because they're heading towards the Falcon as Rey tries to come up with more reasons Leia shouldn't come. They're going to go on a little journey together to Tython. I'm sure this is going to go great and super smooth.
So great. I can't wait.
Chapter 4. So what are we doing?
We are on Station Null in the Tython system, and we're introduced to a new character named Gavin Hylas.
Yes.
Interesting human being. Apparently, he's a human man with a newly installed mechanical jaw implant.
Interesting. Wonder what that's about.
I wonder too.
I was mostly excited about who he's talking to.
Marta Rowe's boyfriend. Sorry. That's all I think of every time I see this character. It's not.
That is such a deep cut in our friendship. I'm dying. No one's going to understand that reference, and it makes me so happy.
It's the same species, right? Obisian or whatever they're called. Yeah.
A Bulio sighting in 2026? Praise be.
I was so amazed that he is a black market dealer, but it also makes sense for what he's doing with finding intel and sending it to the resistance. It's very exciting. Very cool.
Yeah. And so we've got Gav. We're going to call him Gav because that's what was in parentheses. And his best friend Ziv. But they're trying to sell something to Bulio. And
yeah.
I love that Bulio jokes with them about the fact that there's definitely a bounty on their heads.
Oh, I know. And he jokes with them, but also reassuring them that he changed their bounties.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, Bulio is unbothered by the bounty situation, but it's a nice little plug-in that we're gathering something is following these two characters.
Yes.
Something has happened that has caused them to come under the attention of the First Order. And now they're at a black market place. Obviously, something bad is going on.
That and the fact that Gav is selling his mother's Haitian smelt jewelry, which is worth so much money. And it seems like he has a lot of it. So like makes me wonder more about Gav and what has happened to him in his life where he went from this possibly life of privilege to being on the run situation. Yeah.
And it turns out they're wanting to trade this nice jewelry for weapons. So not a great sign.
No. Yeah, and it sounds like Bulio doesn't have that much for them. And it's not a really good trade. And there's tension between the two because of that. But Bulio promises he'll get them more next time. So don't even worry about it.
I'm sure. And there's tension between Ziff and Gav even because they're kind of in disagreement about what to do next. So this is where we sort of find out that they're in the midst of a mission of some kind and it did not go well. And Ziff still wants to finish it.
Yep.
Whereas Gav wants to rendezvous with his sister, with whom he made a grand plan to meet before the mission ever started.
Yeah.
And so they're at this crossroads of where do we go from here?
Yes. And apparently Gav got half of his face cut off by some darksider with a red lightsaber. Well, there's not too many of those wandering around, so wonder who that could be.
Which means this must be Kylo Ren. So, so obviously the mission went very poorly.
Oh my God,
I feel like it has to go really bad if you get your jaw sliced off with a lightsaber.
Right? Oh, goodness. Yeah, they're heading back to their ship with their weapons when suddenly sirens go off and they have to ask one of the locals what it means. And apparently they've got sirens for the First Order. That's convenient. And I love that everyone at this place is scattering, trying to get back to their ships.
Oh my God, it was so funny. Everyone was taking off. It's not like they're the only sketchy people at this black market space station.
I kind of envisioned the pirate station from Skeleton
Crew?
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
Where was Bulio then?
But Ziff and Gav are like, oh God, we gotta go. And they get onto their ship, which I love the name of their ship.
Oh, I didn't write it down. I was just like, what?
It's called the Straggler because it's barely hanging on.
Yes, that was a great name.
I was like, oh my God, same. And they get out, and are trying to leave. And they see the First Order ships, but they're not coming towards them, right? They're locked onto a different target.
Yes.
Wonder who this could be.
It's a freighter. And I love that both Ziv and Gab have this moment of, nah, we're going to target the First Order and join their team and even the odds, 2 against 2. And they do pretty good given that they're in this. It's a mining ship that really is not meant
It's not meant for this.
No, it's really not. And they were able to get one of the TIE fighters down, and then the freighter gets the other First Order ship down, and it's fine. All good.
It's all good, except their ship is kind of damaged.
My God, yes. It starts spiraling out of control.
Of course, it's Leia, Rey, and Chewie, right? I mean, we find that out. And is it Leia that calls to be like, is your ship supposed to be spinning like that? That seems wrong.
I thought it was Rey.
It might have been Rey. Either Chewie would have been the funniest version of that. You speak English?
It's C-3PO. Oh.
By my calculations, your ship should not be spinning. But yeah, they get through with this, and as kind of a thanks for helping them out, right? Leia and Rey and the Falcon are like, hey, we're going to try and help you get down to Tython.
Because their ship is a mining ship, it has these cool magnetic clamps on the feet, for lack of better words, of this ship. And they're able to lock down onto the Falcon and basically hitchhike back to Tython.
Yes. I'm sure that's going to go super smooth and there's going to be no problems. But for now, chapter 5, we're doing a complete different story, right?
We really are. We're in Hayes Major Henchbrow with a new character, which is Major Brilla Wolstenholme. I think I said that right. Apparently, she's the one who just survived the assassination attempt and is traumatized by that. And then also the First Order has turned this into a whole propaganda stint and made her the poster child of their Unity Day festivities and sending out broadcasts all across the galaxy about how she survived this awful attack and how the First Order will persevere.
Meanwhile, she's having war flashbacks now in her head. And it's so interesting the way that this character was written, because you don't go into this character being evil. She's a First Order major though. So she's part of an evil, organization. She's obviously done evil things, but the way that they write this character, I liked that there's none of that from the beginning. They leave it to where you almost feel bad for this person.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I definitely feel bad for her because of the experience that she went through. And especially as we read more about her life, and you just go, oh, that really sucks. And the First Order is not a great company boss to work for. And she's just like, I'm going to be the best soldier ever. And they're going to love me and treat me right. And you're just like, oh, I'm sorry to tell you.
Yeah, anyone who's had a job in America knows that's not real.
Yeah.
They don't care about
We're
you.
A family.
Legit, they are HR pulling We're a Family to her right now.
They are.
While she's trying to deal with the trauma of what happened. And the only reason she survived, apparently, is because very last minute, Kylo Ren showed up where she was at. And he thwarted the assassination attempt.
Were you shocked by that?
Yes.
I was too.
Okay, well, it depends.
To me, I read it as saving the day.
Right? They made him sound so heroic because it's First Order propaganda, right? And they're gonna do that. And it's interesting because we know Kylo Ren really doesn't care about the military side of he doesn't actually care that much about the First Order. And we know this.
Doesn't care about people dying.
No.
That he doesn't like.
No. He didn't save her because he was like, oh,
her life.
I gotta save they're a soul, you know? Like, he doesn't care about that at all. So it is a really interesting setup. I wasn't sure where this was going. But
I really hope that in the fall of Kylo Ren, we get to see this story, and it's just him just casually throwing his lightsaber. He's like, oh, this guy.
The thing we do learn from this, though, is that she saw of the people who tried to assassinate her. She got a good image of them in her head.
She did.
And is thinking about it, and yeah.
And turns out they captured one of them. And that's where she's headed. She's heads to her office where one of the prisoners, a man named Gordy Boline, is being held. And apparently he's like completely full of truth serum to the point where like he's bloated.
It's so gross, the description.
It's so gross. Apparently Brilla's having a really difficult time understanding how just 4 individual assassins were able to get so far within the First Order, and she's completely obsessed with this idea that there has to be more to it. And I guess numerous people have interrogated Gordy, but she needs to like talk to him just one more time and get the answers from him.
Ooh, it kind of, he does give her some answers, but not really, and it only makes her more suspicious of how things went down. Because Gordy says that they got bad intel. Because the person they got info from did not tell them Kylo Ren would be there, or he says they wouldn't have done it, which makes sense. Because why would you ever
no one
try that
doesn't have a lightsaber should be in this situation?
Exactly. But it was a maintenance person whose name he doesn't know, and they just didn't tell them that Kylo Ren was going to be there, so they thought it was going to go off without a hitch, right? And I love, he pulls a Yoda here, and instead of continuing to give her info that she wants, he just dies.
Oh, well, he does. His last words are
the poem. Yeah.
The poem.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Well, Brilla doesn't know what they are. That sounded like a weird phrase. Why did he say that? And it's like our struggle became a song. We danced with it, restless, then threw it free to the other side. That doesn't sound like Gordy's normal speaking. So that does become an important factor for her to find the rest of the assassins.
Yep. She's just got an itch in her brain that something's not quite right.
Exactly.
And this makes it worse. Speaking of worse, she gets a call after the body is removed from an admiral from high command questioning why she's there. Because she's not supposed to be there anymore.
Oops.
She has a new assignment, right?
Where? On Chespia. What the heck?
We have to listen to her get just absolutely lambasted by this admiral. And I can just feel the anger Brilla is feeling in my soul that she's being talked down to.
Yes.
While she was like, I'm not just here like twiddling my thumbs. I'm here because a prisoner from my assassination attempt was captured and I was interrogating them. She is doing what she thinks is her job. And this admiral is like, leave that to the people that were assigned to it.
I hated this for her so much.
Same.
It becomes more and more evident later that the First Order is trying to push her away from this assassination attempt. And so they're having her go to Chespia, which is basically some backwater planet with nothing going on. And they're like, oh, it's because you have been promoted. And
you have been promoted.
You should be so happy about this.
She's not, though, because she thinks her assignment on Chespia is stupid because it was assigned by Kylo Ren himself, which sounds so important. But she's been told it has to deal with like mysticism in the Force because that's what Kylo likes, right? And she's like, why? I'm military. Why am I doing things that don't have anything to do with the First Order?
Where is this on my job description?
Yes. Yeah. And it's not on there. So obviously she's frustrated. But she does kind of sneak in some of her own stuff before she leaves for Chespia, though, right?
Yeah.
She gives her assistant an assignment.
Yep. She gives him the phrase that was Gordy's final words and asks the assistant to look it up. So there we are.
Yep. Time to go to Chespia. Well, time for Brilla to go to Chespia.
Yes.
We're not going to Chespia.
No.
Chapter 6, we're in the Tython system with the magnetic foot situation.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going?
It's not going well because the poor mining ship is a hot mess and nothing is working. The magnetic feet are falling off to the point where this mining ship is about to fall off as they're entering atmosphere. So Rey has to run over and basically situate herself right underneath the mining ship within the Falcon and use the Force to hold it on, which doesn't sound like an easy feat.
No, it sends her to her knees at some point, and especially with a ship jostling around, she almost hits her head or something. And
yeah.
You're doing amazing, sweetie.
I know.
They make it. It's fine.
They do. And it'll be totally fine. They're now friends, so they exit out of their ships, and they totally turn their blasters on each other.
So Star Wars of them. Nobody trusts each other.
What's happening here, guys?
Oh, thank goodness.
You lower your blaster first. I'm like, after you.
I love this because you know Rey and Chewie are not going to participate with that.
Absolutely not.
Because we get an old man, an older man running in and like kind of crying out for Gav and Ziff. Like, who is this person?
Yes.
And apparently Leia either knows him or can feel, because again, she can kind of feel things in the Force, that he is a member of a certain group that we happen to know, which is...
Yes, it's the Church of the Force. And to me, I thought Leia recognized his outfit. He introduces himself as Pastor Lejar Hylas. And so to me, he must be in the robes of a Force Church individual, maybe?
It's good because Leia seeing this, it makes her feel at ease because she knows who the Church of the Force is, and she knows that they can be trusted. And so regardless of what Ziff and Gav have going on, everything's fine. We're all good. And I was just excited to see the reference to the Church of the Force because
I did too.
We don't get a lot of other Force religions in Star Wars visual media, but in print media, we get a lot of it.
Oh,
and
definitely.
It's great.
Yes.
And
cool too to see what the Church of the Force is doing during this time. And I love that they are still going about trying to preserve the legacy of the Jedi and the Force in general. And they've got this excavation going on here on Tython. Definitely a team of excavators there.
None of these people are qualified for this, but that's the only way the church would let him use resources to go to this place, right?
Give them the funds and like take the shuttle there and just drop them off.
And we find out Pastor Lejar is Gav's father.
Yeah.
And not only that, but he knows who General Leia is, because who in the galaxy doesn't at this point?
That's a good point.
I like that Gav is immediately suspicious, where he's like, so about the fact that our ship didn't just fly off into a fireball. Rey, how did that happen? Immediately suspicious of her.
He is, which makes sense as the son of the Church of the Force pastor guy, that he would know and have heard stories about Jedi and to ask those sorts of questions.
Yeah.
But Rey is also very suspicious of Gav, and she goes, why were the First Order looking in that area? And who could it be that they're looking for?
Rey feels like the group is hiding something, but it's Leia who assures her, no. We can trust the pastor at the very least. Can't speak for the other people.
I know.
On their way to the church's camp or settlement they get into an argument because Gav insinuates that the earlier Rey and Leia leave, the better for everybody involved. And Rey is like, okay, rude.
Yes. She already does want to leave, but to have someone turn around and say that to her and insinuate that she's the one that's going to bring the First Order on their heads, it's just like super rude.
Well, especially because she's extra sensitive about it right now, because that's her own thoughts in her head, or that she's going to do that to Leia. And bring the First Order down on the Resistance or down on them. And so Gav bringing this up is like poking an open wound for her right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, they walk back to their settlement, and apparently in their group is a Twi'lek named Adari, a little Chadrafan named Mika, a Yuzum, and a Shagrian couple.
Oh,
So cute. I fell in love with
Mika.
Mika right away.
Immediately.
Cute little character that apparently loves to go into the ruins because she's so small, she can actually fit in between the rocks that block the entrance.
And she has a Jedi toy.
Yes, a little doll that she carries around with her. It's so cute.
And I mean, that piques Rey's interest for a lot of reasons, but primarily because she's like, where did you get that? And she's like, crawling around in the mountains. And Rey is looking for this Jedi ruin, and she assumes wherever Meepka found this, that's where I need to go.
Yeah.
So she's like, Meepka, let's go. Let's round it up.
I know.
But Gavin's sick. We need to hide the Falcon first, and we need to settle. And poor Rey is like, why does everyone want to take 500 years to do everything?
I know.
She's very impatient to get going.
Didn't you tell me that you wanted me to leave right away?
Right?
I know. I also love that Rey can sense that the Force is so much stronger on Tython, and it almost feels like it's drawing her forward, and that she innately knows that she's going to find her answer here.
Yes, which is great. She needs a little reassurance that she's on the right path.
I agree. Whether it's the path that she thinks that she's on.
The right path.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
Well, chapter 7, we are still on Tython, and we now are in this predicament where the mining ship is on top of the Falcon, and they need to get it off. And so Rey's like, Chewie and I have got it, and Gab, you go away. And he's like, no, you absolutely need our help. You can't lift that by yourself. And she's like, we're real strong.
I died. As if they weren't going to be so suspicious of that.
Oh my God, I know. Why do you think Rey is so secretive about her being a Jedi? Especially now that everybody knows that it's General Organa and the Chewbacca and the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, I think this is all stemming from this deep fear of Kylo Ren finding her. And it's not even about anything else. It's just, I don't want anyone calling my ex. And she's just so mistrusting that she's afraid these people are going to call the First Order and be like, hello, we have a Jedi here. I heard you're looking for one. And so who knows? But
I was not sure if it was more because she didn't like the added pressure of people, like expectations about what a Jedi would be and do, and like,
that does sound right though, because she's feeling a lot of pressure from just herself and what she thinks the expectations on her are. And if she feels like other people are putting that on her too, I could see that being like, ugh.
Especially when she went to, or had the plan of going to Tython by herself and fixing this Kyber crystal by herself. And now she's got a whole archaeological team here, and Leia.
And Rey even questions Leia, like, what are we going to do about the Church of the Force? They're going to find out I'm a Jedi, and it concerns her. And Leia's like, they don't want the attention of the First Order. It's fine. But I do think some of this irritation is what you've said, where Rey wanted to do so much of this alone. And she knows the church is going to be interested in whatever she's doing.
Yes.
So her audience grows every day. And she's like, I need so fewer people to be watching me fail right now. And they decide that they're going to go to the ruins in the morning and find what they're looking for. But I loved this segment where Rey kind of leaves Leia for the evening, and it leaves Leia with her thoughts that naturally go towards her son.
I did too. Where she's thinking about Ben as a baby on Chandrilla, and how when he was younger, she felt so lucky to be his mother and believed him to be a child of the stars and born into love. Just like,
I know.
No.
She tries to divert from that and start on her memoir again, but instead she sort of sinks into her own memories here suddenly, and she's in a completely different place. And at the time I was reading this, I didn't know, like, is this a force vision of some kind? Is this a dream? Like, we're not really sure, but she's obviously in some sort of vision or dream or whatever, right? What's happening?
Yes. So she is dreaming of herself as a Jedi, and she's standing aboard the ship, the Radis, and everyone that has previously died is there, including Admiral Akbar and Vice Admiral Haldo, and they are looking at Starkiller Base. So this is just insane. The fact that she is seeing herself as a Jedi in this moment, almost wondering what would have happened maybe differently if she had stayed as a Jedi.
Yes. I imagined, regardless of what this was, that some of this did happen. It would make sense if her and Holdo and Akbar had gotten intelligence about something happening and they went to check it out and were like, oh, crap, they're building another Death Star, basically. That part sounds realistic. It's the part where she's obviously a Jedi. She has her lightsaber with her that you're like, well, that didn't happen. Nope. So is this real, but kind of not? But it was interesting.
General Hux sends out all his TIE fighters and they're all swarming the Radis. And at one point, Leia holds out her hand, is able to stop one mid-air, and she's able to fling it back at the finalizer's bridge. And just as the bridge explodes, Leia wakes up.
I am shooketh by this. I need to see this. I just need it.
Can you imagine a world in which Leia defeats Starkiller Base?
I can see it, which is why it's so painful that that's not what happened.
I know.
And it's interesting because we know that she had a vision of Ben dying if she became a Jedi, is how she interpreted it.
Wait, is it Ben dying or everyone dying?
She saw the death of her son at the end of her Jedi path, was what Luke said, I think. Yes, when he's talking to Rey about it, he tells her that she saw the death of her son. And that's what prompted her to not want to be a Jedi anymore. But whether or not that was the truth of it, we know how Force visions are.
Oh, 100%.
And I don't want to say she made the wrong decision, but it's so hard, I think, for her, for us, for everyone involved in this to understand that it came to be anyway.
Oh, I agree.
And the lesson there maybe wasn't that you should have stopped being a Jedi. It was maybe more to accept that fate is inevitable. And the Force is as it wills it, right? And so it's interesting to see that she's going through that of like, well, maybe I did make the wrong decision. Maybe I could have stopped all this if I had just been a Jedi.
Oh my goodness.
It hurts.
Yeah, because once Leia wakes up, there's this weird moment where she notices something's watching and she's like, that's weird. But she brushes it away because she's like, no, it's not someone was watching. Someone is actually missing. That's the true thing I need to be worried about. And it's Rey.
Oh,
Rey is no longer on the Falcon. She's wandering about in the dark for fun. So
Sweet
we're in
Rey.
chapter 8, Tython. We're still here. But this is now Rey's POV where she is in the dark, climbing up the mountain towards the ruins. She didn't mean to get this far, but here she is anyways.
Oh, Rey. Yeah, we did this whole montage of memories, and it's like Starkiller Base, and then it jumps over to Rose teaching her about trees, which is adorable. Back to Starkiller Base. Like, it kind of shows her internal struggle between all these good things that are happening, but there's this dark sort of figure, that's haunting her, and we know that that's Kylo Ren. And it doesn't help that she overhears Gav talking to a member of the group about how dangerous it is that Rey is there. It again pokes that wound for her that she's, I don't know, a problem.
Yes. It's like her thoughts start to spiral, but luckily the kyber crystal warms and it startles her out of her thought process. And then I guess that's when Meepka notices Rey and she like runs over and asks if Rey wants to see the ruins. And they both head up the 100 or so steps to the ruins.
Yeah, it sounds awesome because the caverns that they get to, the walls are covered in murals, right?
Yeah, reliefs, I think. It's the carved into stone and then painted. It just reminds me of like Egyptian tombs. So I always get really excited about that. And of course, there's like a blocked entrance with all these stones piled up in front of it, which makes you go
rocks.
like, well, that. And then also like, ooh, who put those rocks there? What do they want people going in to see? Or is there something in there that they don't want letting out?
Yep. And poor Rey, she has this moment when she's looking at this, evidence of Jedi history, right? And she's like, I wonder what it's like to share the Force as a community instead of alone as a burden, which is how she's kind of carrying it. We know that's not how the Force is supposed to feel.
Nope.
But it is. And that's just the situation that she's in.
In this moment, she's having that, like, I am alone. I cannot actually do this by myself.
Yeah. The only person she can connect to, she's very much avoiding at the moment.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Meepka's little body who can just squeeze into a corridor past these rocks. As Rey's like, okay, I guess I'll do it the old-fashioned way, and try to get herself in. But it doesn't work, and she has to end up using the Force to get into the same chamber.
I love the description of Meepka's little face and awe as she watches the rocks get Force lifted away. It's so cute.
Imagine being a little kid and just seeing a freaking Jedi.
I
get excited as an adult when I see fake Jedi at Disney. I get excited seeing people cosplaying.
I know, it's so
I can't imagine how excited Meepka is. And she also is like, look at all the junk I've been collecting, because she's just been gathering up all these artifacts from these caves.
Yeah, there's all these piles of crates and packs, and it becomes evident that whoever left in a hurry, because there's combs and like toiletry items that they just abandoned in their journey out of this temple.
And Rey sees like a door-ish of sorts with text characters that she semi-recognizes across the top. What a convenient time.
For Leia and C-3PO to show up. It is yet another Jedi riddle.
I don't know what it means, but I did find one little snippet of it that I'm curious about is where desire resides, the heart will tell, all things unmasked, the root in the well. And it made me think, we'll get to it later when we get to the well portion, but it just made me reflect upon the things that are seen in the well and what that means, because it's making it seem like the well reveals what the heart desires, and that's gonna come back later. So, interesting. And I like how over it she is, as she's like, can I just get a button that says push for entry instead of a stupid riddle?
She does. C-3PO finds it. Wow, look at this amazing locking mechanism, and he pushes it.
As everyone is like, well, obviously we're about to get cut in half or something.
Yeah.
A giant boulder is going to come rolling out.
Indiana Jones, what are you doing here?
Yes. As Han's alive, guys.
I know.
That's not what they get, though. What happens instead of like poison darts?
A hollow recording of Jedi Master Vree Ravenel. And it's a warning to basically turn back now. He says that there's nothing left in this place because the forge is doomed. They are all lost, and that they've had to abandon the temple. I love
Rey's reaction to this. It made me laugh so hard.
She's like, oh, look, a lightsaber forge straight ahead. Oh, whatever scary monster must have died, decades ago, because this recording, it's a Old Republic recording, right? Isn't that what the time frame of this is? Okay, so
right. So
what
like,
is that? Thousands of years? Yes.
C-3PO is like, Mistress Rey, because she wants to go find this forge, and he's like, the door doesn't even describe a forge. It describes a well. So I think you're about to be real upset when you go in there and don't find a forge. You find a well. And she's just so desperate for help. with the crystal.
Yes.
She's just not willing to think that this could be the wrong path. That's just not an acceptable option.
Well, especially because she came to Tython and she was like, this is the right path. I've done it. Forge,
and if she admits that's
ahead.
not right, I mean, what does that say about her and her instincts? And, nope. She's not going to close the door. She's going to go right through.
Nope. Especially when she reaches out to the Force and she can sense some change just on the other side. Like, she pulls on them and the heavy slab of a door slowly raises up.
This would be a really good time for more people to join.
I know.
It's like everyone and their freaking mom from the church shows up.
They do. They're like, wow, we heard the rock pile. It's like an avalanche down the mountain.
Yeah, what happens when the door opens?
Poisonous gas fills the area.
There it is.
Whoopsies. Yep. And then, even worse, Rey hears a familiar child's voice calling to her and telling her she can't do this alone and to please help her. So Rey, of course, is going to go running right into the poisonous gas to go help this child.
She does know that there is not a child alive in there. She understands that this is from the Force or whatever, but it's too much like her memories of her crying out for her parents as they left.
Yep.
And she can't let it go. She has to know what it means or whatever.
Well, she's kind of smart because she goes in and the figure of the child disappears. She's like, oh, look, the spot where all of the poisonous gas is coming through is right up ahead. If I could just close this locking mechanism, I'll stop it all and it'll be fine. And she does. She closes it and heads back outside where only Leia is waiting there for her.
Yep. Okay. The gas does get to her, though.
It does. Yeah, she does fall down.
She falls down. She has a little weird vision of her in her AT-AT. I just feel for Rey. She's so desperate for a lot of things, I think, in this moment. And it's making her almost careless.
Yes, and it's very evident that she hasn't, well, I mean, when has she had the time? But she hasn't had time to sit down with any of her emotions about the trauma that she's been through with her parents leaving her. And as we come to later is that she has been called a nobody. When she looked into that mirror, it was just her. No one else was there except for her. And how devastating that is to be a nobody. Nobody wants that.
No, of course not. Everyone wants to be something to somebody, even if it's one person or a million people, it doesn't matter. Nobody wants to feel like they're nothing. And that's kind of her whole shtick right now. She's Rey nobody in this moment. And she hates it.
Yep.
All right. On that happy note.
Chespia, Chapter 9. So, super cool. Forest planet. Just a reminder, Chespia is the place where apparently the font is. So, this is where Brilla is going. And as she is about to take a shuttle from one spot of Chespia to her main base, she gets a transmission from her assistant. And apparently he discovered that the phrase that she had heard from dying Gordy comes from a poet named the Chronicler.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This just makes her more curious, right?
Yeah. Especially because the assistant says that the Chronicler had tours on Hannah City and Kuro and Henchbrow. And this is where I was deep diving into why these are so important. And it's because both of those are the prior New Republic Senate locations. So they all have ties to New Republic stuff. So basically connecting the Chronicler to New Republic and their sentiments against the First Order.
And no one actually knows who the Chronicler is. But somehow they know where they're at.
I know.
I wasn't sure about how that happened, but the Chronicler is leading a poetry retreat So she's going to store up that information because obviously this is someone that has some kind of relevance to what happened to her. And I just
you talk about this colonel.
Man.
I know.
Yeah,
he is the worst.
Makes me so mad. Yeah, he has no problem, right? Telling her she's not fit for the assignment here. Off to a great start, which is apparently to make it secure for Kylo Ren's arrival, because Kylo is very interested in this place, even though it was a Jedi temple during the High Republic. And it's ruins now. So she's like, what could Kylo Ren possibly want from a ruined Jedi temple? Which we know, because, I mean, Rey's doing the same thing right now.
Yes.
Ruined Jedi temples have the best stuff in them. But she doesn't know.
Yeah. Yeah, Brilla has no idea why she's here. She's very mad, and she doesn't like being treated like crap by this terrible human being. But she does get sent on her way to her new post, which is this, it sounds like a First Order built tower that's sitting right next to the ruins of this Jedi temple.
Yeah, so I guess they're supposed to drop off all these supplies to this camp, right? And then she's supposed to be done with the camp situation. But instead, she decides she's going to stay there and gather intel on what is happening here. She meets the captain of this camp, and for one, nobody is following any form of protocol, not military at all. She finds out there's a bunch of people that have been attacked by creatures and locals who don't want them there and are trying to protect the temple. And so they've got like a sick bay full of people on death's door. None of this is within what she thinks is standard operations for the First Order.
Not at all. Why do you think this situation is happening? Why do you think that this team is here to set things up for essentially Kylo Ren, but it's all in disarray? Is this just an example of things falling through the cracks and maybe Kylo Ren really isn't interested in this? Because I feel like if they said Kylo Ren wants to be here in 2 days, they would send their best team to get it all spruced up, but they're not. Is this General Hux playing a weird game on him and just like, we send these drunkards over and they can handle all of the creatures and locals?
That's how I took it. Like, this is all just a weird game between Hux and Kylo Ren. And
okay.
Hux is like, I'm going to send these people and not give them any support, not give them any clear instructions. It's weird that they have all these very sick soldiers who have not been transported out of camp. So to me, this is all very deliberate.
Oh, yeah.
And also, if we're being honest, I feel like Kylo would be kind of like Rey, where it's like, I just want to do this by myself. Why are you all here? And it's just a method to like disrupt what he's doing.
Ooh, maybe.
Via Hux, because Hux is kind of petty.
He's so petty. He hates Kylo.
Sure does. But yeah, so this place is a mess. She's stunned at the state of things here. And while she's gauging the situation, more soldiers come in with 2 locals that they found messing with their equipment.
Yes. None other
like trying
than
to sabotage things.
Zabraks. I was like, what?
Oh, man. This is when Brilla's like, I'm going to clean this place up. Tells the captain to start helping her get it together because she wants to spend the next few days trying to get a handle on how to fix this place and also figure out what's Kylo Ren up to. Because we find out he's been to a lot of places. He's been on a like world tour
of
going to Jeddah.
Fun temples. Yes. What's he doing on Jeddah? Is he looking for the
the Wayfinder.
The Sith.
The Sith Wayfinder. But yeah, I would assume he's going to all these places, all what she calls dead planets, but they hold this historical Jedi, history or whatever. And I think you're right that he is looking for a Sith Wayfinder and has just not made it to Mustafar yet.
That is so fun.
That is very exciting. Maybe we'll see a little bit of this in Fall of Kylo Ren too. I would love to see him searching for it.
Uh-huh.
So that would be cool.
Oh, Brilla does go to interrogate the Zabrox, and I found it really interesting that anytime she addresses a non-human, she calls them aliens, which I personally hated. It was so rude and just like demeaning.
Yep.
But she doesn't get any information from the Zabrox. But the forest does suddenly go quiet, and their tower is attacked by these creatures called the Garaju. And she realizes that the Zabrax covered themselves with some scent to lure these creatures to the tower.
Yes.
Yeah. I need to know more about the locals and their connection to this temple.
Yes.
But Brilla is not. She could care less because she's running for her life. They are all getting slaughtered. But Brilla does make it back to the shuttle, and she jumps inside after yelling at them to lower the ramp. But she does jump inside just as one of the creatures, the Garaju, clamps down on her leg, and she's like dragging it up the ramp and into the shuttle after her. It's so intense.
Yeah, she makes it though.
She does.
And they're not going to go back to where she came from initially. She's sending this shuttle on her own little mission, which I'm sure is going to go over well with the First Order.
She's determined. I can't decide. Like, it's so interesting when you have a character like Brilla who loves the First Order so much, and so like, I need to be the perfect soldier and follow the perfect steps. But here she is, she's just like, nah. So what is it? Do you like the structure and the rules and like following protocols, or do you not like it? Does it not apply to you because you are the epitome of a soldier? I don't know.
Like in real life, this happens to people where I think she did like it because it served her. And she was like, okay, well, as long as I do XYZ and operate within the structure, I will be fine and I will get what I deserve. And after the assassination attempt, it was like this, oh, no.
Ooh, I like that.
That's not actually what happens. And it's slowly unraveling that mindset for her, I think. And so I think we'll see her get progressively kind of play looser and looser with her structure and the rules of the First Order as we go, just because she's realizing that it doesn't serve her to do that. It's like, I don't think she has altruistic motives.
I definitely don't think it's that.
It's more just that she's understanding that the First Order doesn't care about her. And she thought that it would if she played by the rules. And now she's finding out that's not the case. So orders the crew on board that shuttle to set a course for Escalon.
Which is where the Chronicler is located.
All right. Chapter 10, Tython. We're back with Leia in the dream again. On the bridge of the Radis, looking at Starkiller Base. We get a special appearance by Luke Skywalker himself.
Oh!
Apparently Luke is there this time and is watching as she tries to take the finalizer apart piece by piece with the Force.
Yeah, Leia, poor thing, wakes up and she's beyond exhausted. Turns out that dream did not give her any actual sleep. And the poor thing, she's just like, I know Rey's going to go look at the ruins again, and I'm going to go follow her. She's dreading every moment of this, but she is so determined to be there for her.
Yeah, but she goes back up there and finds Rey and can sense Rey's nervousness around her, and she's still not getting it because she doesn't know, really about the whole Kylo Ren thing. At least the details of it. And so she's just like, what is causing you to feel this way about me? Yep. And it's still that divide from the beginning that we talked about earlier. But they do talk about how Rey experiences the Force, which I really like, because Rey views it much more as an instinct than an exact practice.
Oh, for sure.
And it's cool because I think Leia also operates more by instinct. And so she's trying to take this moment to like bridge a connection between them and be like, oh my God, me too.
Yeah. Yeah, because I guess Rey is had the idea to use the Force to pull the poison out of the temple by creating these massive winds, and it's helping. The levels of the poisonous gas are dwindling, but they're not nearly where they need to be. And I also love that Rey demonstrates this wind that she can create, and it almost knocks Leia over. No.
Oh.
It's like they reach a moment where they're like on the same level, and then something happens, and it's just like Rey's feeling guilty, and poor Leia is tumbling down the mountainside.
Yeah, and Leia's feeling inadequate again.
Oh, yes.
It's just like that constant disconnect between them when Leia's trying to help and trying to connect with her, and then something happens. And she also tries to convince Rey to trust the people in the church. But Rey does not. And she's even to the point that she refuses to go eat with them. She doesn't want them to have more opportunity to find out she's a Jedi.
Yeah. Well, in chapter 11, we're still on Tython. Apparently, it takes an entire additional day to get the poisonous gas levels to finally be low enough where people can breathe. And C-3PO happily comes, is like, yay, coast is clear. You can head on up now. But apparently Gav and Ziph are already up there, so I guess they're the test subjects in the moment.
Well, Ziph thinks they can find cool Jedi artifacts to sell to Bulio to get more weapons. So that's like the desire on Ziph's end.
Is that not the plan the entire time of why they've connected to this?
I thought the Church of the Force, I don't think so. I think the Church of the Force is interested in the spiritual aspect of things. But yes, I think
thought
from
was like
Ziph and Gav's point of view, yes.
Like the whole purpose of why they've come and connected with this group is to try and like smuggle some expensive artifacts that they can.
No, he wanted to hang out with his dad. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah, that's a great relationship. They totally
they're
have
doing
a great
really
bond.
well.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
We learned some interesting information about Gav's mother.
She likes poetry.
That's so crazy. I wonder what that could mean. It's nuts. And he does not think highly of the Jedi at all. Because after Hayes Minor fell to the First Order, nobody came to save them. And I think you have to remember, and by you, I mean like everyone listening, you have to remember that like people don't know the status of the Jedi Order. People are just going about their lives. They don't keep up with what's going on with the Jedi. They don't know that there's one, you know, or that it's Luke Skywalker and he's trying to figure it out. They don't know that it's just Rey now. Like people don't know these things. And so the assumption is there'd be this great Jedi Order that's going to come save them from the First Order. And it just never happened. And they don't know it's because there were no Jedi left.
Or that the one Jedi can't do it all. Because they hear stories of this one Jedi saving this one group over here, and they go, well, why not me? And especially with Gav, who has this knowledge of the Force from his dad, and he's like, well, the Force is supposed to be in everything, but like, how can it be in everything when there's like all these terrible things happening?
Well, the Force is in Kylo Ren.
Yes.
Who just cleaved half my face off. How could use of the Force possibly even be a good thing at this point? So I get where Gav's coming from, but obviously
100%.
that's gonna cause even more friction between him and Rey. And him and Ziph go past the now open door that has the gas is dissipated, and they find a shallow little pool.
Wow.
Almost like a well.
That is so funny.
Crazy. And beyond that, this like dark chasm, right? Where they're like, I don't know about that.
Yes. It almost looks like they can't see the bottom of this chasm too, which is super cool.
Yeah. And we also get to find out a little bit about how they managed to get close to Brilla on the day they tried to assassinate her, which is interesting. And how by the time they saw Kylo Ren's ship, they were like, whoops, too late to pull out now.
Oh, totally.
Oh, can you imagine the fear?
I can't even at all. Like, kind of like how they're story went so poorly.
So sideways.
Anyways, Ziff and Gav are arguing about what to do next because they for sure know that the First Order is coming to Tython, whether it be following them or following General Organa or the supposed Jedi. And so they don't know what to do. So they either loot the temple and leave everyone or try and stay and protect the camp. How can they do that when there's so few of them and the First Order is so massive? But they do agree on one thing, and that is that Brilla has to die.
Yep, that's happening no matter what. They're about to start looting, well, what they can find, when they hear voices of Leia and Rey coming, which is going to put a damper on stealing Jedi stuff.
I love that Rey looks at Gab. She's a scavenger, right? She knows the drill, and she looks at Gab. She's like, I know what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Like, why are you here? C-3PO to save the day, where he interrupts their arguing to read the inscription that's in the pool, which is, again, another riddle.
Of course it is. And it's making it pretty obvious, even though Rey wants to bang her head against a wall at this point, that, like, the pool serves a purpose. And Leia reminds her, it's like, it wouldn't just be here for no reason. Yep. So, what's Rey's response to this?
She's grumpy, and especially because Gav's like, guess what? I love riddles. My mother is a poet, and she taught me all the ways of poetry riddles, so I am now the expert. And as an expert, I say, you need to jump into the pool. And she actually does.
I just love imagining her just like belly flopping into the pool.
Yeah, Gav gets Rey to focus on something because he's reading the words of the inscription, right? Which is like, what breaks your shackles can be found in the light. He's like, so it sounds like something might be holding you back. What is holding you back? She's like, just the one?
Yeah, just the one thing? Really? As if it's that simple. But yeah, they stay and watch Rey in the water. And I like that Gav has this moment when he's watching her of wondering if maybe his father is right and that there is something to believe in about the Jedi, which I thought was cool.
I thought that was cool too. And also how he felt something and he was like, oh, it has to be the Force. And what does that mean for him?
It's almost like hope is right there. And it's trying to get across to him. I think he almost doesn't want to accept that because once you start having hope in things, you can be disappointed, right?
Oh, of course.
I think he's kind of fighting that, but how can you not look at Rey? I mean, we have the same reaction to Rey, right? And not feel some hope. Chapter 12. Here
Rey
we are.
Hates that everyone is staring at her.
Yeah. She's feeling kind of salty right now for a lot of reasons. She's bitter because Leia is encouraging her to meditate like Luke taught her.
Yep.
And Rey's like, it must be nice to be taught by Luke professionally. And not like in an angry like 3-lesson, day or whatever.
He hides in his hut.
Oh my God. She's bitter at Kylo Ren. She's really mad at him because he got to be trained in a temple with other Jedi, and she's like, that would have been nice.
Mad at Kylo for killing all of the ones that could have been around to help her out, but it's fine.
Yeah. And Leia being there doesn't help because, we know this, but Rey admits it in this point at which when she looks at Leia, she sees Ben. And that's where that divide is coming from, that she doesn't want Leia around because she can't look in her eyes because they're the same eyes that Ben has. And she's like, I can't focus. I can't do any of this. And even though Leia's encouraging her right now to meditate, Rey is so scared of what's going to happen if she does. Because what if she goes towards the dark side like she did on Octo?
Yes. And that she did on Bakara. And many times. I also liked about the part where Rey's talking about how she can't trust Leia, or she can't look at Leia without thinking of Ben because of the similarities, but also that inhibits her from trusting her because she also had the same trust breakup issue where Ben basically messed her up and she can't trust anything that
She's
says.
like, I'm not going to do that again.
Yes, exactly.
By trusting in this person.
Mm-hmm.
And Leia senses her fear while she's in the pool, even though Rey's not going to admit to it, and just tries to remind her, like, if something goes wrong, we're here. Like, we're not going to let something happen to you. And this part kind of broke me a little bit because Rey is like trying to think of floating and lightness, and Rey has this moment like, I wonder what it's like to feel light. I wonder what it's like to forget about bad things. Because all she's experienced, right, is abandonment and loneliness and loss. Then she can't conceptualize what it's like to be free of those things, which makes it hard for her to meditate.
Yeah. There's this, I swear, this is where her and Elzar Man are like,
I know.
2 peas in a pod here, where she's focusing on floating in the water. And this is so similar to how Elzar Man was floating in the water with Orla Jareni. But here we have Rey and Leia, and how Rey is trying to seek the light. And she basically goes on this journey to try and find it. But what ends up happening is the water drags her down, just like it did with Elzar, and she goes all the way down to the bottom. And this has to be her version of the Force, right? Where like she's got this deep ocean of the Force that she has access to. But to her, it's terrifying and scary. And then as she's down at the bottom of the ocean, she finds herself back at Jakku during a sandstorm, and like sand is pouring in, and she's like, there's like waves of sand that she's trying to keep out. What did you think about this next part?
I lost my mind, Rachel.
I was so excited.
Same, because again, I don't want Rey to be bad necessarily. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Dark Rey is really cool, okay? And she can hear someone coming to save her from all this sand piling up in her AT-AT, and all the sand gets like sucked out.
Yes.
And the way she describes it is a woman who looks just like her enters, but emo style, right?
Yep.
And she's terrified by her because she has red eyes and fangs and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And I just wrote her down as other Rey. Like, we know this is the Dark Rey that we see in The Rise of Skywalker. I just love everything about this. And when real Rey hesitates to go with this other Rey, she bares her fangs at her. And I was like, I love you. Like, flings her out into the desert in anger, right? And this sends her into another vision of what else? What else is she seeing? Oh,
it's the throne room scene in The Last Jedi where Ben is holding out his hand to her. But this time, she actually takes it, and we get this really cool vision of what would happen if she did. And we get Empress Palpatine sitting on her cool throne with Kylo Ren by her side. I personally like this vision. This is great.
I love everything about this. Yeah. But within the vision, she like kind of comes to, and even though she wanted it, right? She wanted to end the loneliness, and that would have been the answer to that. She realizes what she's done, you know, in this vision, and she panics and like calls for Ben because she's like, no, this isn't me and this isn't you. And it sends her right back into the throne room again, where she begs him not to go this way. And it's,
yeah, because Rey realizes, okay, well, if I can't join you, then I must kill you. And so she's going to toss a piece of ceiling down onto his head. And as she does so, she collapses and becomes unconscious. And she's like, mate, did I just kill us both? Funny that you should mention if one dies, the other does.
That's crazy you bring that up.
Yeah.
And Leia's watching from outside the pool. Like, Rey's not looking too hot underwater.
Yeah, she's turning blue.
She's basically drowning. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she reaches for her, and the pool kind of, I think, drags her in. It says that she accidentally crashes into the pool herself. But I think the pool pulls you in.
Yeah.
And what does she hear?
Oh, that's so cool, too, because she hears Vader calling to her, basically claiming her as his daughter. Like Lady Vader. Yeah, then the vision changes. Leia's back on Agincourt with Luke, and this time she tells Luke about her vision of destruction, and she decides to instead remain a Jedi. And Luke turns and smiles at her, and his face melts off. And then she has this out-of-body experience where she's looking down at both her body and Rey's body floating in the pool. And I guess Rey opens up her eyes and they're blood red. Those are Sith eyes, right?
Yes. I'm dying that Leia saw at least a little glimpse of dark Rey. I'm screaming. That chapter was insane.
It was
I
so
loved
insane.
Every minute of it.
Yes.
Chapter 13. Sweet Gav is like, I just watched the general of the resistance and the only Jedi left die. But they're not dead. They're both alive. And once they all come to and figure out what's happened, Leia explains, it's like, I tried to pull you out, but I got sucked in. And Rey gets questioned about what she saw, but she stays vague about it.
Oh, she completely does.
Yeah. She's not going to.
Like, I've been having dreams of your son.
About what if I had accepted his proposal to join him? As Leia's like, his what?
I know.
Leia, however, admits that she saw memories, but they were changed from what actually happened in reality. And Rey's not understanding what she did wrong because I thought by going in the pool, it would illuminate some sort of path through this cavern, right? And I would find this next thing or whatever, and nothing happened.
Nope.
So she's like, I obviously failed at this again. But did she?
No, because she's wringing out her scarf and she sees water droplets falling onto some invisible transparent steel that is basically a transparent steel bridge that crosses the gap to the other side. Hooray.
Yes. Hooray.
She found it.
Yeah, she just got something. And they end up following this path until they reach all the way across. They find a door, another freaking door. And she pushes the button on it, and it's another hollow recording of the same Jedi from the other entrance.
Yeah. And again, this Jedi Master tells another riddle, this time mentioning Reforge, not even Forge. But Rey's like, Forge! It must be in the next room. And then he says something weird about a simulacrus being in the next room. That's an interesting word. I want to know more about that. But yeah, they don't know what it is, so they decide to all head back, drink some hot tea, and get dry while Rey researches the books for any mention of the simulacrus.
Interesting.
I know.
Oh, chapter 14. Rey is avoiding Leia because she doesn't want to talk about the pool. So she's like, I'm going to go help with chores around the camp. And she gets to know more who they are and stuff. But this is all an attempt at avoidance, right? And
it is interesting that she is now in the camp, though.
Okay, but she finds out from somebody else in the church, though, about how Gav was almost killed by Kylo Ren.
Oh,
and she gets
does.
Pissed. Because Gav was accusing her of being a reason the First Order might come to the camp. And it turns out the First Order would be after him, too.
Yes.
And he had made her feel bad about all this. And so she gets so mad that she causes an earthquake.
Is it an earthquake, or does she just tap into the dark side and calls all of the creepy, crawly monsters to the surface?
It said the ground shook and all the creatures came up. So I assumed it was like an earthquake where
the animals are
creatures come.
Yeah.
I love that. I don't care what version of it is. It's awesome no matter what. But she totally pretends that wasn't her. She's like, anybody else feel that? That was weird.
Oh, wow. How did that happen? Yeah, because we can switch straight over to Gav, where he has his own childhood trauma. I guess his parents left him when he was a teenager. His dad had this calling to join the Church of the Force, and so he went on his merry way, and his mother just really needed to share her poetry with others. And so she
Oh my
left too,
God.
and that left him alone with just his uncle. And that didn't even last very long because Hayes Minor is a hot mess, and so his uncle escorted all these civilians off of is it a planet? Planet, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and leaving him and his sister behind.
God, everyone get it together.
Star Wars is not a happy
not good
place. There's just a lot of crap going on that doesn't make for a very happy childhood. And this is when Gav rushes off, and Leia finds a moment to talk to Gav, and she wants to figure out why Gav dislikes Rey so much. And he doesn't directly answer her, but he basically talks about how he's lost faith in the Force and doesn't understand how it can be in everything and everyone. And then even in the man who cut his face with a lightsaber. And now Leia knows that Kylo is responsible for this man's half face. But I mean, Leia has to know that Kylo Ren has been doing all these horrible things. But I guess it just sucks seeing it again.
And hearing confirmation of it from other people that aren't involved with her family, I think is so tough for her.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I guess they end up talking about the transmission that they heard about the assassination attempt, and it came from someone called the Edge of Dawn. And Gab's like, "Oh my God, that's my sister. She's alive." And he's all full of hope again. Until the bugs emerge from the soil.
I like this concept that his sister knew that the First Order was going to spin their own tale of what happened that day. And she was like, no, someone needs to know what was really going on. And that's how that connection to the Resistance happened, which I really liked. But yeah, this gigantic beetle, right, emerges from the ground and is going to attack Meepka. Not Meepka. You can't kill her.
No.
And thankfully, Rey shows up. And I liked that Leia is the one who sort of guides her.
Me too.
Yeah, about how to connect to the creature and not just, destroy it. She's like, no, figure out what's going on in the creature's mind and approach it with compassion and control instead of just reacting. And I really liked that.
Yes. Especially when Rey was in this dark place and calling to the monstrous creatures to begin with. And it also makes me think about Rey connecting with the worm.
Yes.
Snake?
The snake.
Yeah. Later on. And it's like, oh, that's actually Leia there.
Oh, everything's about Leia, guys. All right. Well, chapter 15. Escalon.
Escalon. Yes.
System. We learn a lot about Brilla's backstory with the First Order, and this is the chapter I was thinking about when you were talking earlier about Brilla liking structure. We get to find out here that that's 100% who she was as a kid.
Yep.
She really liked the thought of a guaranteed place to sleep, guaranteed meals, which tells us that her life before the First Order was probably not great.
No.
So we come to present day after she's thinking on all these things, and she basically crashes this poetry thing, right?
Oh my gosh, she totally does. Yeah, this poetry retreat, and she's out of place. She's not wearing the same robes as everybody else. She's wearing this blood red cape that's trying to hide all the gore from monstrous creatures that just attacked her. And she sees a chronicler right away, and she recognizes the chronicler because it's the same face as the two assassins that were out to get her. And this is 100% the mother of these two people. And Brilla immediately begins questioning the chronicler and asking where her children are located. And I love so much that the chronicler's like, my children are here.
Oh,
very Mother Alicia, but we like what she's trying to do as opposed to Mother Alicia, who's trying to kill the Jedi.
Yeah, at least she's just like, let's do some slam poetry about the First Order sucking, or whatever. So at least it's for a good purpose. She is able, through her words, to turn it back around on Brilla. All this questioning comes back to her about how all this pain that she's feeling is devouring her, essentially, and is only going to end up being the thing that hurts her, not a poet, not a resistance. It's going to be her own internal pain. And I really liked that.
Yeah, Brilla quickly realizes she is way out of her league, and she begins to retreat. I love that there's more and more followers entering this clearing around the chronicler, and they all look really pissed. And at first she thought they were like these meek little poets, but she can see that they're like muscled underneath their robe. She's like, uh-oh, time to go.
Like, and maybe I could use some backup.
Yes. What do you think that this chronicler that's connected to the New Republic allegiance would just be hanging out, not protected by anything? Yeah, Brilla makes it back to her shuttle and things go even worse because everyone is dead except for the pilot. And some mysterious person is holding a blaster up to the pilot. Brilla is able to tackle this person, and we find out that it's none other than Vanica Hylas, which is the sister to Gav.
Vanica is like, hey, so what you're doing right now, coming up to this poetry retreat and all that, doesn't really seem to be something that I think the First Order would support.
Yeah.
It's like she's trying to rile her up, essentially, and call her out for going rogue and doing her own thing.
Yeah, and I guess at one point she taunts Brilla with information that their inside man found out that Brilla had been set up. And I wonder if this information is true or if she was just saying that to piss Brilla off. But
it's hard to know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Brilla starts choking her. Because, I mean, it makes her upset, even though she kind of knew and she kind of thought that could be what was happening. She doesn't want to believe it because, again, her whole identity is wrapped up in that the First Order is this great thing that she's a part of. And having to admit that not only are they incompetent or, not put together, they deliberately contributed to her almost getting killed.
Yes.
And they don't care.
And are covering it up. Yeah.
Yes. And she does not want this to be true, even though she knows it is. And she almost kills Vanica in this moment because she's so overwhelmed by these emotions about this. But she doesn't. She releases her grip and is like, okay, well, she has important information. I should probably keep her alive, right?
Of course. That's when Vanica tries to blast her, or at least that's what the pilot thinks, and he shoots and kills Vanica. That's really not that funny. I feel really bad.
No, it's because it was so sudden, and they got you because she stopped choking her, and you're like, oh, okay, well, Gav's sister's fine. Everything's okay. And then all of a sudden it's like, JK, she did.
Oh, no.
I don't think Gav's gonna like that.
I don't think so either. And Brilla's reaction to seeing Vanica's dead body was really weird. She gets this childhood memory flashback and she's calling out to her dad.
Yep.
Ooh. Well, chapter 16. We're back on Tython. Rey woke up super early to go rock climbing. Apparently she doesn't want to dream anymore.
I love this admission of she doesn't miss the loneliness of her time before all of this. She does miss the independence of I get up and I dictate my own time.
Oh, that's fair. Totally.
And so now she's having this brief reprieve from everyone else where she gets to go climb a mountainside. And it's not even her trying to do anything in particular. She just needed to get away from everyone else and have a moment where she's doing what she wants without anybody else influencing it.
Yeah, and it almost seems like she needs movement in order to think. And so as she's climbing up this mountain, she's thinking about what she needs to do, which includes telling Leia about Ben and how does she go about doing that. And she's replaying her and Ben's last meeting over and over and again and wondering what would happen if she did take his hand and how Leia would feel if she lost two people she cared about to the dark side. And I'm glad that what's happening to Rey is making her think about these things. They're super important. Mm-hmm.
These are all really sort of vital to how she proceeds from here on out.
I agree.
She wonders if Ben is still in there, and I was like, girl, me too.
I know.
We know he is at this point, but she doesn't,
Yeah. If Ben is the one that's truly trying to find her and not Kylo.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And meanwhile, Zip wakes up Gav, and they've got a transmission from Bulio. And he's got new weapons for them.
Yay.
Which is really great. And Zip is like, heck yeah. As soon as our ship is repaired, we gotta go. But that ends up turning into a fight between them because Gav, again, so reconsidering and wanting to step back for a moment and wanting to find his sister. And it's just bringing up this same old argument from the beginning with these two, is that obviously they have very different views of how they should proceed with what has been a failed mission thus far. And Zip wants to see it to completion.
Yes. They get another transmission from Bulio, right?
Yeah, I love that Bulio just keeps calling them.
I know. He's like, actually, guys, I've got another message to tell you. And that is that the First Order will be executing Gordy in a few days. And that they are broadcasting this message. It's going to be broadcast to everyone, apparently. Everyone can see this execution. What?
We know that Gordy is dead.
Yes.
So they're going to weekend at Bernie's him and prop him up, I guess. And be like, totally alive, this guy. And then shoot him in front of everybody.
It's so awful.
To send a message. This doesn't help this situation because Ziff was already riled up and ready to go. And now he's even more so.
Yeah, Ziff is like, I've got a plan now. And he asked Bulio to set aside his best and promises Bulio that he'll pay him back whatever he asks for. That sounds terrifying.
Yes. And it makes me nervous because I just know this is going to not interfere, but it's got to come up and cause friction with what Rey's trying to do. And
100%.
I just don't see this going well. But we did it. We made it.
We made it.
I'm so proud of us.
Yay.
It only cost us like 3 hours and a dead iPad and whatever. But we made it.
Mike.
Sorry, microphone. Just couldn't make it today. It's fine.
That's okay.
It's because we love this book. And there's so much to talk about. And there's so many things that I know both of us just didn't even put in our notes.
Oh my God. 100%. Yes.
But everyone should read this book on your own because there's so much more to it than we could ever cover.
Yep.
Ever. And I don't know, man. Something about getting a story about Leia as an individual, about Rey as an individual, but then also about how their individual experiences affect their relationship and their relationship to these other characters is so healing and wonderful. It just means something so special to get to read a story about these two women and their experiences and their relationship with each other. And I can't wait to see where it goes from here.
I am so excited to see where it goes.
But I am deeply excited about the second half of this book.
Me too. I can't wait for them to finally talk about Kylo Ren's situation because I'm really curious to see how that goes.
Same. And this book, even with the limited amount we've gotten so far from that character, it feels like such a good companion to the legacy of Vader as of right now. And
100%.
To what will be very shortly, in like 10 days, the fall of Kylo Ren.
Yes.
And I like that we got these two characters, but their own stories separated in different forms of print media. It's like Kylo is getting his comics and Rey's getting her book, but both of the stories are happening so intertwined with each other.
Oh, they totally are. And they completely mirror each other in so many ways. They're both thinking about that throne room scene over and over again and about how things could have gone differently. And yeah, I know. There it is
all
right
day,
there.
every day. But yeah, I can't wait to see two speaking on that relationship at some point. Like Leia has to, she has to know. And so at some point, you're going to get this third person brought in to this very complicated relationship. And I want to know how she deals with it, because Leia is no stranger to finding out about complicated relationships. Like, that's been a major thing of her life, is finding out about Vader and what that did to her and her career and everything. And so I want to see how Leia, as a much older person now, having experienced so much more in life than she did when she found out that information, I want to see how she handles that and how she hopefully helps Rey to handle what she's carrying. Because, I just think there's a lot about Leia that is really relevant to Rey. And I hope that instead of trying to force herself to be like Luke, she realizes she's got a lot to offer Rey that doesn't have to come from the Jedi Order.
Absolutely.
And so I'm excited to see if that's the route they go. But
that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting, because like Rey's obviously very dismissive of Leia for the Ben reasons, but I hope that once they get past that, that they can actually get to a point where they can see each other for who they are and work together to like read the text together and like figure out the Force together and kind of like get to the point where we see Rey in the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, where she's running around doing all the cool things.
And it's obvious once we get to Rise of Skywalker that their relationship has deepened. And so I'm excited to fill in that part where it's like, how do we get to this horrible awkwardness of where we are right now with this big disconnect between them to where we see them in Rise of Skywalker. I can't wait for that. So if you're still listening, oh my God, you're such a trooper. I hope you've enjoyed this. We talk about it a lot because we freaking love it. And let's be honest, the second episode on Legacy is probably also going to be 3 hours long. So. Yep. And we make no apologies for it. So.
Legacy.
Yes. All right. Well, with that, thanks.
Bye.
Bye now.
Thank you, everyone, for your support. We hope you'll subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts, or on our YouTube channel, The Sacred Text, a Star Wars podcast.
You can follow us on TikTok, Instagram, or Threads at The Sacred Text Podcast, or send us an email at thesacredtextpod@gmail.com.
And finally, if you would like to financially support the podcast, head over to buymeacoffee.com. You can either look up The Sacred Text Pod or it's / The Sacred Text Pod from buymeacoffee.com to donate today.
We'll see you for our next episode.
May the Force be with you.